Some people appear baffled tonight why the person who gave a gun to a convicted felon last week in Independence has no culpability for that felon killing 2 people and then himself.
David Winter spoke to the Commonwealth's attorney, the police chief, and legislators about whether there should be a gun lending law to prevent this type of tragedy from happening in the future.
Federal law does not require background checks on gun sales between individuals, but about 20 states do. Still, only a handful of those states require background checks before loaning firearms.
Donald Bryant never should have had the gun he used a week ago Sunday to kill his ex-fiancée Heaven Glisson and her friend Dalen Bradford before turning the gun on himself. Bryant was a convicted felon who, by Kentucky law, was not allowed to possess a gun. So how did he get it?
He asked several people if they would either sell or loan him a firearm, and from what we can tell, one individual did loan him a firearm to deal with what he believed to be a raccoon problem.
Independence Police Chief Brian Ferriorni says it's a good idea to do a background check on someone before lending them a firearm, but it is not required in Kentucky. Representative George Brown Jr. says it should be.
Laws are put in place to try to prevent these kind of occurrences from happening. And with not having this law in place in Kentucky, we have 2 people victims of homicide and 1 suicide.
Representative Brown's House Bill 331 would have required people to go to gun shops and get background checks if they wanted to borrow a gun from someone. But it never got out of committee this year.
I think that some people might say this is just too much paperwork and government overstep.
For the 2 people who were murdered and for their families, I think not.
I do not support any type of legislation that is going to create additional barriers or hardships on Kentuckians in the exercise of their constitutionally protected Second Amendment rights.
Representative Savannah Maddox says more gun laws will not prevent gun violence.
Had the friend not lent the gun to Mr. Bryant, Mr. Bryant would not have had a gun to do the shooting.
People who wish to do harm to others will always find a way. The instrumentality is not what's at hand here. And again, gun control is not and has never been the answer.
Commonwealth's attorney Rob Sanders says he looked at the case, but his hands are tied, writing to me, whether it should or shouldn't be the responsibility of the gun owner to do a criminal history check is up to the legislature to decide. So far, they've not made failure to check a crime. I can only enforce laws the legislature passes.
Representative Brown says that he plans to reintroduce his gun lending law in January. Representative Maddox will no doubt have her finger poised to vote against it. Adam?
David, thank you. Since the Commonwealth says it can't prove that the man who loaned his gun to Donald Bryant knew that Bryant was a felon, Kentucky law allows him to recover the gun after police finish their investigation.